soon as like your music hits and you hear that and you're like, yes! It's like a chemical reaction.
26-year-old Kimberly Benson is Viper, Scotland's hottest female wrestler. But right now, Kim is facing a crucial time in her career. She's travelling to the other side of the world and competing in some of the biggest matches of her life. But in wrestling, nothing comes without a fight.
I feel like I've been hit by a bus.
So, can she rise above the pressure?
Being in the spotlight is the loneliest place in the world.
And battle on to be crowned Queen of the Ring.
Do you want to sacrifice and go through all this pain for 10 years to just turn around and go, I want to give up, or do you want to keep pushing? What's a dream worth?
It is now time for the 2018 Square Go match. Coming live tonight in Glasgow!
The Square Go is what you get when you put 30 wrestlers of every size, shape and gender in a ring. And let them fight it out amongst themselves. The winner is the last man or woman standing. Perhaps understandably, Kim is nervous.
Tonight the shoe's on the other foot. You know, most matches I go into, I'm the bigger person, whereas that's just not the case tonight. These guys are giants. It's just really daunting. You're just always hoping for the best.
But Kim is a seasoned professional, so she's got a strategy.
I just love throwing myself at people. This is a perfect opportunity. There's a lot of big guys in there, so you're diving them like, and then I think that's a sound game plan. I think that's going to work. Let's do it.
Aye, oh, let's go. Aye, oh. She is the vixen of violence, the babe of brutality.
Kim's quick to make her presence felt with some big hits. But she also feels her share of blows. And after 10 vicious minutes, she's thrown out of the ring.
Viper has been eliminated.
For her, the Square Go is over.
I feel like I've been hit by a bus. The chair. 100% the chair. And like, I felt it through my entire body, and like I remember being like stuck here, like I can't move because it hurts so bad. I've felt better, but it's a risk you take.
Kim's been beaten, and it's been bruising, but this is what she lives for.
I love it. As soon as like your music hits and you hear that like that's where like it's like a chemical reaction, something changes in you, and that's when that good feeling comes and all your endorphins just go and your adrenaline's buzzing, you're like, yes!
But that buzz doesn't pay the bills. For that, Kim has a day job close to home in Ayrshire.
Hello. Don't look so happy to see me. This is my family business. This is where I come to work when I'm not wrestling. There's my dad, there's my mum, there's my dog.
The family coach hire business
Okay, and what size of coach are you looking for?
is a perfect fit.
There's no doubt I couldn't do wrestling if it wasn't for the stability of the family business. Like, there's no other job where you can just go, well, I'm just going to go and disappear for 3 months or a week or a weekend or however long I need to be away. Like, if it wasn't for this place, that just wouldn't be possible.
She needs her mum and dad to subsidise her because she's got no money.
Right, see, when you're old and decrepit and I'm a megastar, I'll remember that, okay?
We're very, very proud of her, proud of everything she does and support her as much as we can.
I do worry about her sometimes because sometimes she doesn't really get hurt. And she's still got to carry on, which is silly. But and sometimes we don't know where she is.
I always know where she is. I keep constant touch with her, we text every day, especially if she's maybe over in Japan or America or something like that, and you can't be there and you're sitting waiting for that wee phone call or that wee text with a smiley face just to say, that's me back now, and then you can relax a wee bit and think, right, that's her. I think she took it up to lose weight and keep fit. And I thought, why don't you just go to step classes or something like that? But no, she took up wrestling.
I used to watch wrestling all the time on the telly when I was younger, and it was a boyfriend at the time said to me, he goes, do you know there's a school over in Linwood? And I was like, what? Like, you can do this? This is a thing? Like, it never like occurred to me that it was something that you could do. And we went, as soon as I found out, we went that weekend, and I totally fell in love with it. Loved every single thing about it. Get totally beat up, but I loved it, and I went every week for about 7 years. It's been a mad journey coming from a wee industrial unit in Linwood to all over the world.
Kim's taken 10 years to get where she is. Along the way, she's seen big changes in how women fighters are seen.
When I first started training for wrestling, like certainly in my school there wasn't many other girls, and only the wrestlers that were on television were like supermodels and stuff, and there was just this, women's wrestling wasn't respected. It was difficult for me because I was a girl and because I was a big girl. I think a lot of people are surprised where I am now. I think so many people took one look at me and thought, she's not going to last 5 minutes. And I'm really, really proud of that, you know, like, and I'm so proud of the stigma that I have for it, and I'm so proud that I didn't let people's snidey comments get to me.
Come on, all the way. Breathe. Breathe. Yes.
Kim was once just another face in the crowd. Now she's the face the crowds come to see. Tonight, she's being given one of wrestling's biggest accolades, a shot at a championship belt. Giving her this honour is the man behind Scottish wrestling company ICW, Mark Dallas.
You don't give anyone a belt in wrestling unless they're a big star who can carry that belt, sell tickets. Do you know what I mean? You need to be the full package. You need to look like a wrestler, you need to look like you can fight, you need to be menacing, you need to have charisma, you need to be able to talk in the microphone, you need to be able to do all the wrestling moves, the reversals, all that sort of stuff. You need to be able to take the punishment, because it's an incredibly tough job.
Being a good wrestler is about being able to draw people in and make people feel something from nothing.
I'm writing storylines, so it's like all the reasons why you get to the fight. It's very much the same way you would write a TV show, a soap opera. That's exactly what it is. Imagine you watch EastEnders and at the end of every episode, Phil battled somebody.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is for the ICW Women's Championship.
She's relatable, she's likeable, she's a positive role model. She's got that it factor, which you just can't teach. I mean, you hear it when she walks through the curtain, the place goes mental, do you know what I
This
mean?
is Viper!
Tonight's crunch match sees Kim taking on reigning champion Martina for the prestigious women's title. Kim's mum and dad are in her corner. The reigning champion is a worthy opponent, but Kim is showing no mercy. And even though Martina throws everything at Kim, she just can't compete. In the end, Kim pins Martina to the mat and wins the bout. She is the new women's champion.
Claudia loved it. Claudia loved it.
Why did you not get a beer and throw it out her face?
Don't waste beer like that. That's
I saw the wee lassie just bet there she was going to win, and I went boo, and she laughed at me.
Everything went so perfectly, and it makes me really happy seeing them, especially because like my dad doesn't come a lot, and for him to like have this moment with me, and like for him to hear everybody losing their minds is just so important to me.
It was fantastic, girl. Really proud. You did brilliant. I'm so proud of you. I love you.
Stop being a sap.
Stop being a sap.
No, you're not a sap.
It's a great night for Kim. But it's no surprise that her schedule of up to 4 fights a week, all over Britain, takes a toll.
I had a match in Blackpool recently. Just took a move that I've taken a million times before, and just felt a quite deep pain and like underneath my shoulder blade. I kind of hoped it would go away a couple of days by itself, but it's still there. So I need to go get it checked out. Sometimes, you know, like the silliest things can be the biggest injuries.
Kim can't afford any time out of the ring, even if she is in pain. So the pressure is on physio Ryan O'Neill to assess the damage and hopefully fix it.
Right, put both hands straight forward for me, thumbs up to the ceiling. Good, and then nice and slowly right above your head. Yeah, this side's not very good, is it? This is going to hurt. Probably the biggest issue I've seen with more wrestlers is they don't know how to recover their bodies properly. More common team sports, their teams will have training sessions with regular physio kind of work getting done week to week, whereas wrestlers aren't really exposed to any of their kind of recovery stuff or regular massage stuff. They get kind of expected to jump off of rings, etc., into people and bounce back. Unfortunately, they are not made of rubber. Things hurt.
You know, this is a question every wrestler has on himself about every 5 minutes. Is it worth the physical pain of walking around like an old decrepit person when you're only 26? I guess for some people it wins, you know, and people give up. People say, I don't want to do this anymore, and sometimes I wonder if they're the smarter ones, you know, the ones that see sense and go, no, I'm going to stop killing myself. But I mean, what's a dream worth?
Good thing is you'll settle. Just need some sleep, some food. You'll be alright. Oh yeah, that whole game of wrestling, yes.
Kim lives to wrestle another day, and just in time.
Okay, time to get started.
She's about to leave for her next set of matches on the other side of the world, in Japan.
I love like that over in Japan, it's like complete wrestler life, like whereas here, like nobody can really do wrestling like full time.
But there's more to being on tour in Japan than full-time wrestling.
Best bits are the friends and running around Tokyo steaming at 4 in the morning and like all those like sort of moments that like I feel like that's what life should be. Like life shouldn't be categorised by how much money you can make. It's experiences and memories, and that's what will give me comfort when I'm old.
But for Kim, there's a high price to pay for these memories.
I don't remember the last time I was in the country for my mum's birthday. Don't remember at all. Not seeing my niece and my nephews grow up. Stuff like that, like something Mum said earlier, like being in the spotlight is the loneliest place in the world. You know, I have great friends and we're all there for each other and we're all stick together, but it's, you know, it's hard to build real relationships with people when you don't know what side of the world you're going to be on. Yeah, that's the hard part of it. You belong to everybody and nobody at the same time when you do this.
After some last-minute packing, it's 3 AM and Kim and her mum are on their way to the airport.
So many shows have you got this trip? 6?
5.
5? I thought it was 6 you had.
5 over a space of 2 weeks. I think I had 5 shows last time and I went over for 5 weeks.
Well, that means it'll fly in quicker and you'll not get so homesick. Because you'll not have time to be homesick.
Think about anything.
Well, you know, you'll not have time to miss your mammy. Remember, Kimberly, we're only a phone call away. A wee Skype call. Doesn't matter what time it is, day or night. You just need to. And Cindy will be fine. I know you're worried because the dog's getting older, but We'll all be here and you can come on, just don't get upset. We're here. I know you get awful homesick. I know it's hard. It's going to be worth it. Just think of the things that you're doing, and goodness, and you're only 26. I've had 2 lifetimes in one girl.
Japan's cities draw millions of visitors every year with their fast-paced lifestyle, ancient temples and modern technology. But Kim's no tourist.
The thing about women's wrestling in Japan is you really have to live, breathe, eat, sleep wrestling. Like it's every part of your day from the second that you wake up.
Female wrestling in Japan, known as Joshi Puroresu, is huge. It's got an international reputation for the quality of its wrestlers, and it's where scouts come to spot new talent. In Japan, Kim fights with Stardom, an all-female wrestling outfit. And this trip has a particularly relentless schedule. And Kim is feeling it.
I'm about to head off on a 6-hour bus journey now. I feel jobby. I feel really, really bad. I'm about to be in a bus that can find space for a lot of people, so that's why I'm wearing this. So they don't get mad at me. But yeah, it's going to be a great trip. It's going to be awesome. Really looking forward to it.
Kim also needs to find time to spend with her loyal fans.
In Japanese popular wrestler.
Long time, Mr. Ozeki is my fan. Yeah, sugoi.
Yeah, arigatou.
Team Viper, Team Viper. Yeah.
Team Viper.
But this trip is all about one key fight. It's a first for Kim.
This tour, I have a really big match against Toni Storm. We have a double title match. It's not something that happens often. I can't think of the last time I heard of one, in fact.
When Kim and her opponent Toni aren't in a ring beating each other up, they're good friends.
Yeah, like whenever we're on the same tour, we usually share a room.
Yeah.
Kim and Toni are sharing an apartment in Tokyo, along with other visiting wrestlers from overseas.
Dad was going to make me some eggs and toast, but we bought partially cooked eggs.
They may or may not be chicken eggs.
Yeah, we don't know. The yolk looks pretty huge for a chicken egg. Even though I don't want it. We went out for a civilised drink last night. We're all a bit fragile today.
Life in the foreigner's house, as it's known, helps cement the strong bonds between the women.
I do love living in the foreigner's house. I think you need the homeliness of a foreigner house when you're here, particularly because we're here for so long sometimes. This is my Japan family. Sometimes they're quite dysfunctional. There's fights and arguments and moments, but I don't think we would have it any other way, really. We all understand how hard it is being away from our families, so we just kind of become, this is the family that we've chosen, I guess.
Kim's now on her 7th trip to Japan, but in the early days, there was no surrogate family here to support her.
The first time I went to Japan, I nearly gave up. It was really, really hard. I was crying on the phone to Mum and Dad, like every day, about how much I missed them, how hard it was, and that's when I questioned, like, maybe you're not cut out for this, maybe this isn't for you after all. And I remember my mum saying to me, if you want us to buy you a flight home, we will. And I went to bed at night and I really thought about it. That is a real defining moment for me, to think, like, if you'd given up, you wouldn't have all this now. You have to be mad to be a wrestler.
Whenever I find someone in wrestling I think is normal, I like suss them out. I'm like, I'm gonna find out what's wrong with you.
That's my favourite game to play.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Is it an insecurity thing? I'm like, what self-esteem issue do you have? Because we're all like that, just in different ways, right?
Your mum didn't love you, your dad didn't love you, your mum loved you too much.
Right? Right? It's true. It's true.
gym. This is where we come to work out when we're here. And this is food good. This is my baby.
Before their workout, Mitugawa, their sponsor and trainer, helps them stretch. Kim's Scottish physio would approve.
This is care. Mitugawa like stretches us out and relaxes our muscles and yeah. Oh yeah, when I'm here I usually train about 2 or 3 times a week, but that's factoring in Stardom training 3 times a week as well.
Next, Mitugawa puts Kim through her paces in the gym. She needs to stay in peak condition to compete against elite opposition.
I'm so stronger than you. You're more defined than me, I'm so stronger than you.
After the gym, it's time to enjoy Tokyo's nightlife.
So this is one of the ace things about Japan. There's always cool stuff to see, night or day. There's always somewhere to go, and it's always really good places to eat. Arigato! Oh, this looks exciting. Kanpai!
This is not the Japanese way.
I'm really good with chopsticks now. I can eat pretty much everything. As I'm saying this, I'm clearly struggling. Rice, noodles, anything except this. It doesn't want to get on my chopsticks.
Even on a night out, Kim's fans let her know how much they love her.
You're welcome. Yeah.
But this was no whirlwind romance.
To be honest, my first tour was awful. I'm not like a giant person or anything, but here I'm a giant person, and they made me feel like every bit of that, and just the kind of same thing I've had all through my career. People feeling like I was written off because of my size, and they put me in a box already, weren't willing to really give me a chance. But I came to training and I showed them that no, I'm really passionate about this, and I'm talented and I'm a hard worker, and I gained their respect and eventually I guess their love.
It's match day. Kim's putting her Scottish title on the line, hoping to unify it with the Stardom World Alliance belt to be crowned overall world champion.
It's an important match for my career. It's very high calibre, it's very high profile. I've got a feeling there's going to be a lot of eyes watching it.
Kim knows that such high stakes bring the biggest risks.
I worry about myself being injured all the time. Just like some matches that have this expectation on them. People expect like certain moves, and it is like a really horrible, worrying feeling like this might be my last match.
And wrestling against such a good friend also plays on Kim's mind.
I think what's even worse is worrying about injuring someone else. There was once I did a show with a girl, and a dive went a bit wrong, and although I know it wasn't my fault, she ended up breaking her arm. And I constantly think about that, like every day, like if I just did something a little bit different, she would have been all right.
Traditionally, local wrestlers are given the prestige of winning championship belts in Japan, so this match is a huge mark of respect to both Kim and Tony.
This is a really big moment for me. Like, this match is huge, a double title match. Especially for it to be foreigner as well is a big deal. I get nervous for every match, you know, like every single match I get nervous, and I think when you don't get nervous anymore, that's a sign that you don't love it anymore, you know, or you're not trying hard enough, or, you know, this is a good thing. This is a good thing. It feels awful now, it's the worst, and I hate it, and I think, why did I do this to myself? But it is a great feeling at the same time. It's weird. It's torture, but it's great. It's sadistic, it's masochistic, it's amazing.
Kim and Tony's match is one of the last of the night.
Literally the worst part of wrestling is before the match. The fear.
The wait is long. But finally, it's time. Right from the bell, this match is ferocious. Full of high-impact moves. Despite their friendship, neither wrestler is holding anything back. With so much at stake, even the ring can't contain this battle. Kim calls upon every last ounce of strength and skill. Both fighters have chances to clinch the title. And both fight back. But after 15 minutes of punishing competition, Kim is world champion. Both wrestlers have given their all. But the night belongs to Kim. This victory is her reward for years of hard work and dedication.
It feels really amazing. Like, I can't express some of the things that I've gone through in my wrestling career. People wrote me off a lot because of my size and what I looked like, and just thought I was like some stupid blonde girl that was never going to amount to anything, and now I'm holding 2 belts for the top companies in the world. Like, sorry. Never ever thought a wee farm girl from Kilbirnie would be sitting in Japan holding 2 of the most prestigious championships ever, travelling the world, living my dreams. Like, is there anything better?
Captured by the enemy, things aren't looking too good for 2 Section and Our Girl tomorrow night at 9. Tonight, in an hour, powerful personal accounts of the most devastating tower block fire in British history, Grenfell.